You're watching Kickin' It with Onrie, the live shopping show.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Kickin' It with Onrie, the live shopping show. I'm your host, Onrie Kompen, and I'm sorry I was a little late. I was making a phone call. I was dropping the kids off at the pool. I was taking a dump. I was, saying goodbye to the turtle head. I was going outside and squatting like a dog. Hey, all right. Oh, man. Good way to start off a show. I mean, at least I'm being honest with you guys and not like lying about what I was doing, Yeah. But anyway, I'm back here now and I feel really relieved. I think I lost like 2 pounds. You guys see it on me? Like, you see that like I'm filtered out? You don't see it? Well, I've been really, focusing on that, making sure, I go to the bathroom on a regular basis, doing all that kind of stuff. And also making sure that you guys follow the East and Chin campaign, which is launching in less than a week. We got, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 5 days. We are launching. Hold on. Roberto just messaged me because he was in the room. He was probably checking in on me. I'm on the air now. I'm going to message him right now. I'm on the air now. Was taking a dump. A massive dump. No, I was making poo-poo. No, was making a phone call and I pressed I'm just going to say I was taking a dump. All right, there you go. Was taking a dump. Here we go. You guys like this? I think the honesty is important here. And we got a full room here. And I pressed number 2. That's exactly right. All right. Well, anyway, it's all out of my system now. And on a serious note, I've actually been super busy. So busy, in fact, that I haven't even had a chance to take a number 2, which is why I waited until I got on the air. And I have to get away. I have to get distance from this. I think the real thing is, for me, that when I make these kind of toilet humor jokes, it kind of puts me in the mood. Like talking about these comics, like, honestly, it gets kind of boring, to be honest with you. But when I make poo-poo and pee-pee jokes, like, everybody's like paying attention all of a sudden, like, what's going to come out of this guy's mouth next? No, but this week has actually been, on a serious note, this week has been really busy planning out the Kickstarter campaign and also making a complete overhaul to my convention setup. And I've also got another really big announcement that I'm going to be making tomorrow. But as of right now, tonight, I am going to reveal to you guys for the very first time my new logo. And I prepared a little fanfare for it, so check it out. I'm really proud of how this came together. What you guys see there is my new logo. So I have been working really hard on that for the last year, and I actually want to give a big shout out to Roberto Santiago, because Roberto has been my spirit guide on this, and my very good friend Fabrice Sapolsky put me on the mission of redefining my logo and really figuring out what the future is for my show, or for my path as a publisher. So I am now redesigning my banners that are going to be at the conventions, and they're going to have this new logo on it, and we got a new tablecloth, and I'm working on all this promotional stuff while I am also trying to keep things going with the latest issue of East and Chin and get this Kickstarter up and running. So it's been a lot. I've been up really late at night, and I've been making a lot of phone calls to Roberto to bounce ideas back and forth to him. But I just want to, give Roberto a big shout out because he was the one who really kept me focused on getting this done, because there were a lot of points when I just didn't want to redefine my logo. I was happy with what I had, and what I had just needed a facelift. It was time to do something different. And he was very patient with me, and he worked with me on getting it to what I needed it to be. And I feel a lot more confident now. I feel like I'm ready to level up my game when I go to conventions. So I'm going to be doing a lot more shows where I'm going to be kind of spreading out a bit more. I've upgraded the types of spaces that I'm getting, so I'm now going for like more corner booths and things like that. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really happy with the way everything turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. I think it's a really cool. I think it's a cool logo that we got there. And if you guys want to see it again, I will put it up here. I haven't created the right graphic for it yet, but you can see it over here, kind of tiny. It'll be hanging out here, but that is the new logo. So this is going to be everything going forward. And again, I got a big announcement, but I can't make it until tomorrow. So it'll just be something I post up on social media, so you guys will be able to see it. But big moves are coming here. Really, what I want to try and be more consistent with, like March was a really hard month for me because of how much travel I was doing, and it's really hard to be a one-man show and keep everything going. But I really hate losing touch with you guys. And so I'm going to kind of start transitioning a little bit more about how I do things going forward. So, we're going to do a live sale tonight, but sometimes I may not come on the air to do a live sale because I might be on the road, or I may not have time to do it. But I want to be kind of relatively consistent with what I do on the air and how I promote it and do everything. So I'll be doing some AMAs here. I'll be doing creator hangouts on the night of our launch. We're going to be doing a creator hangout. So I have a bunch of creators coming on to hang out with us and talk about their Kickstarters. Dan Price, how you doing? It's good to see you. So lots of things are happening right now. I'm working around the clock. Literally every day I've been up till like 3 a.m. just working on stuff. So, but I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited for what the future has in store. And, I know that these are kind of crazy times with everything that's going on in the world right now. And I think this is the time to really hone in and focus on what your creative projects are and really, put all of your energy, all your positivity towards that and towards the people around you. Now is the time to exert your kindness to others, be patient, and, all that other good stuff. So without further ado, let's start ramming some of these comics down your pockets or into your collections, I guess. You spend $25 with me tonight, you're going to get to spin the wheel here. But if you spend $50 with me and you're located within the United States of America, you are going to get free shipping on your order. I think that this is going to be a new regular time slot for me. So we're testing it out tonight, and it looks like we got a pretty good crowd here. So let's get going. Let's do this. All right, first book we have today is Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. This is a comic book movie special, and it's going to go for just $3 today. $3 on this. Ram them into your boxes. There you go. Thank you, Katrina. Appreciate that. So Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. We got the comic book edition going for $3 based off the Star Trek movie. I have Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger #1. This is going to go for $3 as well. This is a really cool cover. Not sure who did it, but I know that Jimmy Palmiotti worked on it. 37 pages, and you're saving $1 off the cover price. It's $3 as opposed to $4. So $3 on Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger #1. I have Penguin Triumphant, which is a one-shot Penguin story. It's got a cool embossed foil title. It is written by John Ostrander, Joe Staton, and Bob Smith. That's the creative team on it. So John Ostrander is the writer, Joe Staton is the artist. And Joe Staton is a very accomplished and established Batman artist. So there you go. Penguin Triumphant. And that's going to go for, we'll do that one for, how the hell with it? We'll do it for $3. The stuff has to go. Daredevil #126. Daredevil 126. Daredevil's fighting Torpedo. Kind of a more reader friendly copy. This is going to go for just $3. I have my final copy of Wolverine number 50, that cool die cut cover. That's going to go for $3. It's my last one too. Found a whole bunch of these at one point. We're going to do it for $3 right now. And then I have Batman Spawn War Devil. This is the team up that was put out by DC originally, and it is going to go for $15. It is written by Doug Mensch and Chuck Dixon, illustrated by Alan Grant, and inked by Claus Janson. This is going to go for $15. 15 on Batman Spawn War Devil. This is their first crossover from DC. So back in the day, in the 90s, Batman and Spawn had 2 crossovers. There was one that was published by DC. The other one was done by Image. The Image one was illustrated by Todd McFarlane and Frank Miller. The DC one was done by the Batman team. So what was kind of cool about that was Todd was able to kind of like say, hey, I really like Frank Miller. I want him to write this issue because he's done some definitive Batman stuff. And it ended up being a really silly story. Like, honestly, like I think this one is probably the more grounded of the two because, like, you know, Chuck Dixon and Doug Mensch, like, I think that they have a better handling of these characters, you know, than, not to say that Frank Miller doesn't understand, you know, Batman or Spawn, but the way Frank wrote his crossover, Batman was almost like the Dark Knight Returns version of Batman, and he was talking to Spawn like he was some kid. And it's like, Spawn is a dead soldier who has been resurrected. He's not a kid. But if you look at the amount of time that Batman has been around in comparison to Spawn, it kind of makes sense, but it just kind of doesn't. If you're reading it, it's kind of clunky, you know. But you know, it's interesting, and I think that the DC one is more rooted in, okay, here are these 2 characters. Let's put them in a, you know, in a common place, and let's have them, you know, speak to each other the way that they would speak to each other in an actual context. It's not, you know, let's not use any metaphor here for, you know, how long they've been around and all that. So there's that. I have Absolute Superman #1, first printing of Absolute Superman #1. This has actually been one of the better Absolute titles out there. Everybody's crazy about Absolute Batman, but honestly, I have to say, as much as I love Absolute Batman, and I'm a big fan of it, Absolute Superman has not disappointed at all. It's always one of those books that I can't say I'm like overly excited about when it hits the stands, but then I read it and I'm like, that was actually a good issue. And the stuff that Jason Aaron has done with this, in terms of the story, has been really great. He's really, you know, helped establish this Superman differently from the mainline Superman, while still staying true to the roots that make Superman a good person. And there's a lot of involvement with Brainiac, and now they're bringing Lex Luthor into it. Ra's al Ghul is the main villain in the first run, which is kind of cool. And the first run goes for about 14 issues, and it all kicks off here. It's a really good series. I really like it. And the artwork by Rafa Sandoval is really fantastic. I honestly think he does a better job with his artwork than Nick Dracota does on Absolute Batman, but I actually don't think that the 2 art styles are comparable in any way. Like Nick Dracota, I think what I've heard a lot of people say is that his style is almost kind of like leaning towards manga. It's like touching the line between Western comics and manga. And so that's actually really interesting. But what Rafa Sandoval's doing is more realistic, more rendered. So the 2 styles are not comparable in any way. I wouldn't say one artist is better than the other because they have such different styles. And what Dracota is doing for Batman really works for Batman. That's why people are going nuts over it. It kind of has that Dark Knight Returns vibe going for it, whereas this is its own thing. And it really does feel like its own organic thing. The artwork in this is really fantastic. Highly recommend this. This is going to go for $25. All right, let's see. I have Evil Ernie issue 5 from Dynamite. We got a Arthur Soydum variant cover here. This is going to go for $3. $3 on this. Nice and cheap. I have Lone Wolf and Cub number 14. Lone Wolf and Cub number 13. 14, sorry, 14, not 13. 14. And this is going to go for $3 as well for Lone Wolf and Cub number 14. I have Lady Death by Stephen Hughes. This is also going to go for just $3 right now. Making it nice and cheap for you guys. G.I. Joe number 51. G.I. Joe 51 is going to go for, we'll do this for $3 as well. Some of these books have been sitting here a long time. Batman 49. This is part of is this New 52? No, this is before New 52. Very weird. Written by Scott Snyder. And Yannick Paquette is the artist on it. Is Batman Eternal or is this Batman? I think this is Batman Eternal. Well, either way, what makes this cover special is the Neil Adams. It's a Neil Adams cover. And this is going to go for $3. I don't know. It just says Batman. It doesn't say Batman Eternal. Let's see. Huh. It says Batman versus Bloom. This is weird. It came out in 2016. New 52. This has to be Batman Eternal. It's such a weird cover. This is such a strange thing here. Because New 52 Batman had a different logo for it, and I think it kept going past. It went up to issue 52. Oh wait, no, this is Batman 49. My bad. Never mind. I suck. This is Batman 49. This is the New 52 logo. I forgot. That's when DC did the peel over thing with the D and the C. A lot of people really didn't like that logo. I'm so glad that they went back to their tried and true logo. Like, it's so much better. This is going to go for just $3 right now for the Neil Adams variant cover here. Neil was a phenomenal artist. He contributed so much to comics. And then next up, we got Spawn number 3 here. Spawn number 3. This is going to go for $3. Pooh 52. And then finally, I have Spider-Man number 14. This is Todd McFarlane's final issue of Spider-Man. And this is going to go for $3 right now. Final issue of Spider-Man. He's in his black suit. That's going to go for $3. Now up top, I have some new runs here. And then I have a markdown run over here. So I have Death Jr. number 1, 2, and 3. And it's a 3-issue series. So we have all 3 issues of Death Jr. And this is going to go for just $9. So it's $3 a book. And these books are pretty thick. Each one is selling for $5, but I'm going to take $2 off. It's $9 as opposed to $15, saving you $6 on the set there. And I haven't read Death Jr., but let's take a look inside. It looks like a really interesting production by Image Comics. And looks like it's a bit more like animated, kind of like, I don't know, not animated. What's the word I'm looking for? Exaggerated, kid-friendly. It might be kid-friendly, Death Jr., or not. I don't know. I haven't read it. Beautiful production, honestly. This is really good. It's written by Gary Whitta and illustrated by Ted Nafe, and it looks really good. Honestly, I think this looks like a really solid series. It's going to go, and you get the whole thing right now. So it's not like you got to be like, hey, I'm buying issue 1. Where's issues 2 and 3? This is a 3-part series. You're getting the whole run right here. It's just $9 for the whole thing. $9, and you get all of Death Jr. Now, the next set I got here is actually really interesting. This is Satan's 6, which is a 4-part series from Topps Comics. It's a horror series. So we have issue 1, issue 2, issue 3, and the big one, issue 4, which is the first appearance of Jason Voorhees in a comic. How cool is that? Now, I'm going to do a super awesome deal on this. If you decide you want to pick this up right now, it is going to go for $25. $25 for Satan 6, 1 through 4. You get the full run right here, including the first appearance of Jason Voorhees in a comic. How cool is that? That is awesome. And then finally, I have Miles Morales Spider-Man. This is from the most recent ongoing, which actually ended. But we have, it's actually booting back up. Same team and everything. They just kind of closed off their run here. I have issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of Miles Morales Spider-Man. I was selling these off at $30, and then I dropped it down to $25, and I did $20. Now I'm just going to do it for $10. These have to go, so I'm looking to find a new home for these. So Miles Morales Spider-Man 1 through 5 is going to go for $10 right now. That is a deal, considering that I paid cover price for all those books, but they're sitting here and they're collecting dust. That's not doing me any good. So there we go. Some really good deals on that lower stuff there. Okay, Lewis is claiming Death Jr., and Leonard is taking Miles Morales. Beautiful. Lewis, Leonard, welcome. Thanks for being here, guys. Okay, Leonard. Lewis. Okie dokie. All right, I'm going to replace the 2 runs that I just sent off here with something else. Give me a moment here. All right, dig it up. Okay. I have the Last Avengers story, which is written by Peter David and illustrated by Ariel Olivetti. It's a 2-part series, and I'm going to do it for $6 right now. And then I have Robin 3000 by Byron Prius and P. Craig Russell. It's also a 2-parter, and this is going to go for $6 as well. Get both of these books for both these runs for $6. Todd Spider-Man is off to Leonard. Okay, got you on that. Beautiful. Off to a great start. I went over to Dreamland Comics yesterday on New Comic Book Day and did some digging around. We're gonna go through the stuff that I picked up from them, and then we're gonna go through some other boxes here, just some random stuff that I picked out for the show. And here we go. I got another Todd Spidey Leonard. I have issue 6, which I'm going to do for $3 as well if you're interested. So Todd Spidey number 6. All right, now let's get to it. This is our stack of new stuff, and we found some really cool stuff. And then the boxes that I pulled are boxes that I just kind of grabbed a random box and said, all right, we're going to work off of this tonight. Stuff you guys haven't seen in a while. It's been a while, so get ready. We got some cool stuff coming your way. First book of the night for the $2 rack. So basically everything we're going to put up here, minus our FOMO books, which I'll show at the top of the hour, are all going to be $2 books. So this is all the new stuff that I have here. We're going to start off with Spider-Man and the Black Cat, The Evil That Men Do, number 2 by Kevin Smith and Terry Dodson. That's going to go for just $2. I have Final Crisis, number 2 and number 3. So it's number 2 and number 3. That is going to go for $4 for these 2 Final Crisis books by Grant Morrison and J.G. Jones. J.G. Jones, for those of you guys who don't know, is the artist of the series Wanted. And him and Grant Morrison did this big epic crossover for DC Comics called Final Crisis, which resulted in the supposed death of Batman. But as always, Batman comes back to life. And the return of Bruce Wayne. I'm actually kind of interested in going back and rereading all of Grant Morrison's Batman. I remember I had a lot of those issues when they came out, and some of it was really good, but then it really just kind of started getting a little too surreal for me, and not for the sake of being brilliant either. I just wasn't on board with it. I don't know. It was hard, and once they got into the Batman Incorporated stuff, it was just Grant can take you on a ride, but then you get out into the meadows and you're like, where the hell are we and how did we get here? And that's sometimes how I feel about his writing. I like when his work is more contained. Um, I say that, and then, I've tried reading Invisibles or that other book that he did. There was one book I read, like the first issue, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just read? Like, I have no idea what this is about. And he's too brilliant for me. The truth is I'm the dumbass. I'm the one who can't recognize how brilliant they are, but I respect Grant Morrison, but sometimes that's just how I feel about his writing. I'm not able to follow after a certain point. That's just me being honest Onrie. All right, let's see what else I got here. Leonard, I have some more Miles Morales Spider-Man if you were interested. These books were actually a bit more controversial. This is when Bendis was still writing it. I have issue 19. 20 was a controversial issue because that's when Miles got arrested. And then I have issue 21, and I think it's got a cover by by Mark Bagley. If you want to do all three of these, I'd do them all for $10. But this issue 20 here was a $15 book at one point, like during the big boom of the comic book, times when we were in COVID. So if you're interested in adding those Spideys, those Miles Morales Spideys, this is from a different series. The first one you got is from the Cody Ziegler. This is from when Brian Michael Bendis, the co-creator, was writing Miles Morales, and he had his own ongoing. So just an FYI, I got it. And let's see what else I got here. What else do I put up on the end here? For those of you who are interested, I have Batman 3 Jokers, number 3 by Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok. This is going to go for just $3. And this is the comedian variant cover. I really like this. I love Jason Fabok's artwork. It's phenomenal. I'm about to read this new run on thank you, Leonard. I'm about to read this new run on Tom King's Batman called The Button, which crosses over to The Flash. And Jason Fabok does all the artwork for it. So I'm finishing up this I Am Bane run, and then I'm going to start reading that. So I'm doing that. And then this week I picked up, I'll show you guys. Mike Storm and I, we send each other pictures of what we pick up at the comic shops every week. It's one of those rituals we've now developed with each other. And so I'll share it with you guys too. Maybe we'll start doing something where I show you guys all the books that I'm picking up every week. But this is everything I got. So I got, it's kind of hard to see here. I could show you guys. Well, let's see. Maybe it'll clear up. No, it's not. Yeah, dude, he totally is a beast on JLA. He was that was such a good run. So I got Web of Venom, which honestly, I bought that for spec reasons, and I was really disappointed. But I don't know. It was weird because everything about that book kind of threw me off. But at the same time, I'm kind of like curious to see where it'll go. I'm worried it's going to go out into the meadows too, because I hate the reveal of who this new Venom is. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's like a big bulkier Venom in like the Spider-Man attire. And they all the everything. He makes his first appearance in an issue of Venom, but now he's either got a one shot or this is going on to be its own thing. But it felt like an indie book to you. Yeah, it kind of did. It felt like an indie superhero book to me. It wasn't particularly bad. It wasn't like badly written. It wasn't badly illustrated. But when you find out who this Venom is, it really pisses me off that every single time Venom's got to be this bulky, massive guy. Like, why can't he be skinny, especially since it's not and lengthier, especially since this isn't Eddie Brock. And when you find out who this is, I think when I found out who the Venom was, I think that's what disappointed me more than anything. But yeah, I wasn't on board with it. And then I read Absolute Green Lantern, the latest issue of that. I think it's okay. It's not like, oh my God, I'm at the edge of my seat. I'm more interested in what Jeremy Adams is doing on Green Lantern. I read the latest issue of Amazing Spider-Man. This whole Death Spiral thing, we're now 7 parts in, and I don't feel like anything has really progressed. Like, we're not learning anything about who Torment is. All that's happened is he's merged with Carnage now, and it was almost like this should have happened in the beginning, and these characters are fighting, and then they, part ways, and then Torment goes and he kills someone. Like, I don't really see any real story progression here, and we're almost at the end of this. So I'm really terrified, especially after reading Web of Venom #1, that the reveal of who Torment is really going to be a letdown, because it just seems like his agenda and what he's trying to do doesn't really make much sense. And it's not something I can say I really care about. Like, he's targeting every family member in Spider-Man's family, like his first cousins and all this stuff. And it's like, when did Peter have first cousins, and why does this guy know who they are? And we, the audience who've been reading Spider-Man since 1962, have no idea who these cousins are. And then, he goes after Eddie Brock's family, and it's like, who is this guy? How is he connected? Like, what's going on? Like, it almost feels like the big reveal is going to be that, Torment is Cletus Cassidy. And it's like, like, we'll see what's going to happen. I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt here, but and it's not that it was not entertaining. I'm entertained for now. Like, it's not like it's bad comics. I'm not sitting there and I don't feel like the story's not progressing. Like, in the sense that, it doesn't feel like it's moving at a slow pace. It's moving at a very fast pace, just not a lot of things are happening in the issue. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, nothing significant story-wise is being determined in every issue. It's just like, we're just kind of going along. And the fact that they killed off Paul, which has already been all over the internet, it's like, I don't care about Paul. I never cared about Paul. So him dying had no effect on me. I actually would have rather it be that he be Torment, but whatever, it is what it is. And then I picked up Firestorm. I haven't read The Fury of Firestorm, but I read the preview in the DC Comics, and it looks really cool, so I'm looking forward to diving into that later. White Sky #1, they just released a second printing for that. I like that issue, and it was actually lettered by Ed Dukeshire, who lettered Marks for me, and Ed's an excellent letterer. White Sky was pretty decent, but it almost feels like it's an ash can. It doesn't feel like a first issue. Like, we're kind of see these two characters in the new world, and something happens, and then the issue's over. And it's not like we see like a real big buildup. I don't feel like there was a lot of character set. It almost feels like I didn't get a full issue out of that book. But it wasn't bad. I wouldn't say like it was terrible. And then I have to read Iron Man #4, which Iron Man has been one of my favorite titles, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So on my docket still is Firestorm and Iron Man. So there, that's what I picked up this week. Oh man, if they do Osborn's or Cletus Cassidy, like, I'm almost expecting it to be Aunt May. Like, at this point, like, I really want Spider-Man to get back to a point where it's cool to be a Spider-Man reader again. Like, right now, I feel like one of those sports fans that supports their team no matter how they're doing. Like, I feel like a Bears fan, in all honesty, reading Spider-Man. Like, I'm gonna watch the Bears play no matter what, even though they fucking suck or whatever. Granted, they had a good season this year, but in past seasons, the Bears have sucked, and people like support them anyway, and all this stuff. And it's like, that's how I feel being a Spider-Man fan right now. I really want to be like a Green Bay fan and be like, yeah, Spider-Man's awesome, and Spider-Man's winning and doing great. And I think you can still do good Spider-Man stories. I think that's perfectly possible. I just think that the editorial direction needs to change on Spider-Man. We've had the same editor for a very long time, and what I'm seeing from Death Spiral is he's just going from one trope to another, and Venom is the latest trope now. So, I don't think that there's anything wrong, particularly with the writers, but I would like to see a hotter writer get on Spider-Man and be given some freedom. Like, fuck with Spider-Man a little bit. Do something. Like, mess it up a little bit without killing him, but just make it complicated. Make us care about Peter Parker again. Is that so hard? Make this a Peter Parker story, I'd really like that. And for God's sake, keep him out of space. When they took Spider-Man into space and the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing, oh my God, that was a snore fest. That was terrible. I really didn't like that at all. And speaking of, and it's not because I don't like space, because the next book I'm going to tell you about is actually really fantastic. Imperial. This is a space opera murder mystery written by Jonathan Hickman and illustrated by Federico Vincentini. Really great artwork. Really great story. Fantastic. I absolutely loved Imperial. It's a 4-part story. Each issue was how much? $7. But you can get it right now for just $2. That is a steal for Imperial, number 4. This is the last part of it, so you'll need to get the other issues, but still, hop on it for cheap. I have Moon Knight, Contest of Chaos. This is the Moon Knight Annual. So it's Moon Knight Annual number 1. He's fighting Taegukgi, who's a Korean superhero. Lionel Francis Yu on the cover. That's going to go for $2 for the Moon Knight Annual. Silver Surfer in Thy Name. I have issues 2 and 3 of this series. Not very familiar with it, but it's Silver Surfer. $4 on that. And those 2. Lots of new books here, guys. Stuff that when you go to comic shops, you're going to be paying full cover price for, if not more, because some of these books, they sell through their first printings and they get second printings, third printings, and if you find something in a back issue bin, it's because the retailer decided they didn't know what to do with it anymore. They just put it back there and they need to clear it out. Fantastic Four and Gargoyles. This is going to go for $2 for issue 1 of Fantastic Four Gargoyles. Written by, I think his name is Greg Weisman, and Greg is the creator of Gargoyles. So he wrote this crossover between the Fantastic Four and Gargoyles. Annihilation 2099, number 3. We got Red Hulk 2099 versus Terax, the Planet Hunter. This is going to go for $2. That looked like a cool cover. It has a kind of like a Hulk 181 vibe going for it, doesn't it? Take a closer look at it again. Kind of feels like Hulk 181. You're just missing Wendigo in the background, like a Wendigo type character. And then I have another series here written by Mr. Weisman. Greg Weisman, Gargoyles creator, was tasked with doing a Spider-Man team-up series called Spectacular Spider-Man. And I have issues 3, 4, 9, 12, 13, and 15. And I'm going to do all of these here. 4, 2, 4, 6, $12. $12 for Spectacular Spider-Man. This run filler. And I think it went up for 15 or 16 issues or something like that. It's definitely done now, but it was okay. Humberto Ramos was the artist on it. I was I'm not a big Humberto Ramos fan for Spider-Man. He's actually really been great on Fantastic Four. I really like him on Fantastic Four. I'm not a big fan of his Spider-Man work. I feel like it's a little too loose and cartoony for Spider-Man. Like, I prefer more of like a, grounded, realistic take on Spider-Man, but Berto's really known for his work on Spider-Man, and it's not that he's necessarily a bad artist. He's actually a really good artist, but I like seeing him on Fantastic Four so much more than I like seeing him on Spider-Man. I've really, really enjoyed it. Ramos is like Ditko on acid. That's a good way of putting it, actually. He did go on acid. It went for 16. What went for 16? Superman number 23. This is part of the current Superman series by Josh Williamson and Dan Mora. If you guys aren't reading this, you are missing out on some of the best comics that are being put out today. This is one of the best series out there, honestly. The artwork by Dan Mora in every single issue of this book, like, trumps anything in your Absolute universe. Like, this gives your Absolute universe a run for its money. I love Dan Mora's artwork. He is phenomenal, just an incredible artist. I love Dan Mora. And this Superman series is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Superman's one of those books that whenever it comes out, I get excited for this book. Superman, Captain America, Iron Man, Batman, those 4 books, like regular mainline characters, this is the stuff I look forward to every month. This is some good stuff here. So this is issue 23, and there a lot of the stuff that Williamson kicks off with in his Superman run is leading up to what happens in DC Knockout, and they're basically retconning Doomsday. So it starts out with Superman running into this character named Time Trapper, who's actually Doomsday in the far future. And Superman now has to work with him. And the way they retcon Doomsday is basically Doomsday was meant to prepare Superman to fight Darkseid. And that's why he killed Superman. Like, that's why he was so powerful, is because he was supposed to be a challenge for Superman. And if you read DCKO, it all kind of like comes together. And what's really great about it is it doesn't really like undermine Doomsday as a character. If anything, I think what it does is it actually explains why he is how he is in a really interesting way. And there's actually a point, not in this issue, but at some point here, where Superman and current Doomsday actually team up. It's really, really good. It's such a good series. I love this. Even if you're not a fan of Superman, just come in for the artwork and you will not be disappointed. And I guarantee you, if any book could make you a Superman fan, it is the current Superman run. It is phenomenal. Issue 23 is going to go for $2. And I feel like Dan Mora is really putting out his best work through that series because he's doing so many other things. He's also illustrating Justice League Unlimited, which has been okay. It's a little too scatterbrained for me. Too many characters, too much of everything. But it's Mark Waid writing it, so it's like, I find it has its moments. But he also did that Batman Immortal Legend with Kyle Higgins, and that was kind of like more of like a space Voltron-y type Batman. So it's like Dan has a wide range of stuff that he's working on. And honestly, I have no idea how he pulls it off. I have no idea how him and Jorge Jimenez managed to pull off such high quality artwork on a month-to-month basis. And, they're pumping out so much stuff. It's really good. You like the new logo, Mike? I appreciate it, man. That was a lot of work. And if you guys want to see it, for those of you who are just tuning in right now, I'll show you guys the new fanfare I created for my new logo. I'm really excited about it. So here it is. Check it out. It's me new logo. All right, let's get back to comics. So I have Batman by Gaslight. So originally, Batman by Gaslight is sort of like a steampunk take on Batman, and it was a one-shot that was done by Mike Mignola, and the idea of it was Batman was hunting Jack the Ripper. So it was like a steampunk Batman going after Jack the Ripper. It takes place in in Gotham City a long time ago, and all that stuff. So it's Batman by Gaslight. It was really well received, and so they continued building on that Elseworlds universe, and so they did the 6-issue series at one point by Andy Diggle and Leonardo Fernandez and Matt Hollingsworth. It's called Batman Gotham by Gaslight: A League for Justice. So they've expanded on this in a lot of ways. Like they brought Joker in at one point, and now they're doing the Justice League. And it's a 6-part series. It came out last year, so it's pretty new. It's going to go for $4. $4 for those. I have X-Men #1, the Magneto cover. This is going to go for $2. What's up, Lorena? How you doing? X-Men #1, just a fair warning, it's not in the best shape. Probably needs a bag and board and some love. But other than that, I mean, it's still in pretty decent shape. It's not like it's falling apart or anything. Okay, Lorena. I'm doing good. How are you? What's up with you? I got some really cool Batman and Robin variants here. Hold on. Should have more of that. Give me 1 second. Put these runs together. Okay. 17. And 15. Okay, so these are a bunch of Batman and Robin books here. We got a couple variants and we got some main covers here. So I have issues 15, 17, this is the A cover, 18 is A cover, and 19 is variant. Lorena's already claiming those. Those are going for 8. And then I have Batman and Robin Year 1, #7 by Wade and Somni. This is a really great series here. That's going to go for $2. Lorena, if you want it all, it's $10. Let me know. You have first right of refusal. DC Universe Rebirth #1. So in 2016, DC was kind of like, all right, we screwed up with Man of Steel. We screwed up with BVS. And we really have gone down this really dark tunnel with our characters. They're all too dark now. We need to kind of put them back on an optimistic, hopeful route. And so Jeff Johns was given reins of the DC Cinematic Universe. And that's when we saw Superman and Lois come about and like a bunch of other things that have actually turned out to be really great come into fruition. But he started by kind of resetting everything with this DC Universe Rebirth. And this is the one shot that he did. And it's really well written. It's a very good book. And if you follow the DC lore, there's some really good stuff in here. That's going to go for $2. Lorraine's taking that too. You will not be disappointed. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I actually got kind of sick. So Alan got sick last week. He just had a cold, and I think I got the residual from it. So I've been really, it didn't hit me until I got on the air on Tuesday night. And, I've just been really kind of tired, but it hasn't been helping that I've been up so late working and doing all these things. So it is what it is. I saw Santa #2, cover B, $6 book. It's going to go for $2, and it's set in the Spawn universe. So it's a Spawn universe title. Santy. I saw Santa #2. Absolute Flash #4 is going to go for $2. I actually like Absolute Flash. It's been a good read. Jeff Lemire is the writer on it. Lemire, I don't know his name. Daredevil, Chip Zdarsky Daredevil. Now, for those of you guys who are watching Daredevil Born Again, the comics I'm about to show you are what inspired the current season of Daredevil, or at least what's inspiring a portion of it. So this is from Chip Zdarsky's run. I have Legacy number issue 650. This is 2 from his second run on Daredevil. Number 3 and number 5, all from that second run of Zdarsky. Daredevil, it's going to go for $6. These were high dollar books at one point. People were jumping on this stuff. It was crazy. I read through all of it, and it felt a little inconclusive to me. I typically like Chip Zdarsky's writing. I've really been enjoying his his Captain America quite a bit. But it feels like his Daredevil just ends, and then Saladin Ahmad picks up, and that was the most recent run that kind of finished. And Saladin kind of picked up from where Zdarsky left off, and I just couldn't get on board with it. I really just didn't like it very much. And it had its moments, but it felt like every single issue was like a one shot. It didn't feel like anything new was being explored. But I really did like the newest issue that Stephanie Phillips put out. That was really great. So I'm really appreciating Daredevil again, and I'm excited to be excited for Daredevil. And speaking of that, we recently were graced with a really great run called Daredevil and Punisher, which is a 5-issue series by Jimmy Palmiotti. And this is the final issue of that run. It's really good. It's going to go for $2. Highly recommend that. Actually got to talk to Jimmy about this. Jimmy is not even being paid what his rate is at Marvel. They came to him to do stuff, and he's doing it really to promote his own independent stuff. But I think it's really unfair that they can't afford to pay a guy who honestly saved Marvel and Daredevil during his career and has done so much stuff for Marvel and DC and is a really celebrated creator. The fact that he's doing these books at a reduced rate simply because he wants to do it for the fans and he cares about these characters is really fantastic. I think he has a better and stronger understanding of who both Daredevil and Punisher are than Marvel does. He's really great. And he's a stand-up guy. Like, if you guys have ever met Jimmy Palmiotti, he's one of the most approachable people in comics. You can just walk up to him and start talking to him. Really awesome guy, no ego, really good people. Salt of the earth. Wolverine number 19 and 21. This was a fun run here where Wolverine was fighting Tiger Shark. It's going to go for $4 for these 2 issues. And it is FOMO time now, so let's do this. He was part of Marvel Knights back in the early 2000s. So when Marvel Knights relaunched Daredevil, and Kevin Smith was on there, Jimmy was I believe, inker on that series. But he did have some influence on story. So it was Joe Quesada was on the artwork, Jimmy was on inks, Kevin Smith was on writing, and they brought Daredevil back from the brink. I mean, Marvel was in such a bad position at that time, and Jimmy kind of played a big role in helping reestablish Marvel characters and make us care again. Philip Ragusa, what did I think of the Superman and Spider-Man crossover? That's a wonderful question. I thought it was so much fun. I loved it. I thought all the mini stories in there were super. I love what they did with it. The main story by Mark Waid and Jorge Jimenez was fantastic. I loved it. I honestly buy crossovers. I'm a sucker for crossovers, even though the crossovers tend to be kind of like silly at times. But this one felt very natural to me. I liked Superman and Spider-Man a lot more than I liked Batman and Deadpool. I really hated Batman and Deadpool. It didn't feel like the right crossover to me. Like, I think Deadpool should have crossed over with like Green Arrow or Plastic Man or something like that. Instead, Marvel was like, let's take our hottest character and pair him up with Batman. Honestly, the right pairing would have been Wolverine and Batman or Captain America and Batman, who have already teamed up in the past. I would have rather have seen that, or even Iron Man and Batman. That would have been cool. So the fact that we got Batman and Deadpool, like, that didn't fit. Superman and Spider-Man, on the other hand, they both have like that same type of, do-gooder mentality, and they just fit together so well. And when you got Mark Waid, who has such a strong understanding of both of these characters writing it, Jorge Jimenez, who is like by far one of the best artists in comics today, coming together, it's really wonderful. And then you had a bunch of little side stories too, by various legends and the current comics world, and they all did these really cool stories. There was like a Batman Beyond and Spidey 2099 story that was done by what's his name, Sean Gordon Murphy. So that was really cool to see that, because Sean Gordon Murphy did Batman Beyond the White Knight thing. So it's cool to see him doing a futuristic Batman and Spider-Man teaming up. That was a lot of fun. And then they did like a Superboy Prime and I think Miles Morales team up because they're both like kind of like trans universal characters. So like that was awesome. And they had Jim Lee do a story with Tom King. Like that was a lot of fun. I think DC really knocked it out of the park with that crossover. I'm really curious to see how Marvel's going to handle it now because now Marvel's putting their A-teams on it. So I'm curious to see how that'll go. When it came to the Batman Deadpool crossovers, DC had the stronger book as opposed to Marvel. When Marvel did Deadpool and Batman, like it wasn't as good as DC doing Deadpool and Batman or Batman Deadpool. So Grant Morrison and I think Dan Mora again. It was Grant Morrison, Dan Mora on that one, and that one was better. But I just don't like I just don't like Deadpool and Batman team ups. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like Batman Wolverine, like I'm all about that. You know, like that is really awesome. Like they have a perfect reason to. They're both like dark and brooding characters that are like basically on the edge of each other. You know, even if they would have done Batman Punisher, I think that would have sold so much better. I think that would have been really cool. But, you know, of course, I'm not the one making these decisions. So there we go. We are live, Phil. I am live right now. Yeah, Supergirl and Blade could be interesting. But it kind of feels like Batman Deadpool potentially. Given how Tom King kind of retconned Supergirl with his Supergirl run and, you know, she was getting all drunk and, you know, she was in a place where the sun was affecting her powers. So she kind of had to get a little bit more brutal and was using swords and things like that. Like, that made sense. I'll tell you a better team up. Deadpool Lobo would have fucking outsold Batman Deadpool all day long. Totally. Because those two characters go together. You know, like, they make sense. Like, I would love to see Deadpool and Lobo doing a crossover. That would make sense. Or Deadpool and Harley Quinn, you know, like whatever whatever you want to do, you know. So there you go. There's my end of my rant. Yeah, you like the Percy Deadpool? Yes, my middle finger is up to the camera. Just imagine that these two fingers are not up right now. Just imagine that I'm only holding one finger up. This is your imagination. All right, here we go. I'm not flicking anyone off, by the way. I'm just holding it up. I just want to let you know, too, that I was late because I was taking a dump this morning, or afternoon, evening, whatever. Yeah. What's up, Phil? Good to see you. All right, poo-poo, pee-pee, let's get those FOMO books up there. Toilet humor is the only way that's the only thing that's going to save us right now. I hope you guys know that. All right, up. FOMO time.
It's FOMO time!
Is that an acronym for me getting a chance to play the Flash again? Oh, that's what it means. It was a good Flash! No one wants to play Flash comics on Onrie Show because of me! And I can't buy comics either because I'm a big weenie!
Oh my God, like, shut up already.
I'm real sorry you can't get new comics over there, Phil. I can't imagine what you're going through being in another country and not having access to new comics. That really sucks. I mean that sincerely. Like, I wish there was a way to get this stuff out to you quicker. And speaking of which, I am thinking very heavily. I am heavily considering about opening up a PRH account so that I can order new comics. Not just for myself, but for you guys as well. Because the more I order, the more I save. And I would be happy to pass those savings on to you guys. So if anybody is looking to order new comics and is willing to wait a little bit longer to get to them, let me know what you're interested in ordering. And, you know, like if you would be interested in participating in something like that. And then I'll look into what I need to do to open up a PRH account. And I could start stocking new comics, which would be really cool. So, all right, here we go. I have our first FOMO book here, Black Panther #2. This is the first appearance of Killmonger in a symbiote outfit. So, symbiote Killmonger. This is his first appearance. This was a $10 book. No one wants it, so I'm knocking it down to $3. $3. It wasn't John Kent. It was Superboy Prime. So Prime is now Tomorrow Man. I like it. I think it's cool. I mean, it's not going to last forever, so I mean, I'm fine with it for now. But you know, it was a fun first issue. The artwork was fantastic. You know, I'm in. I'm in for it. I like it. If anybody else wants this Black Panther, I have another copy of it. So if we got multiple claims on that, no big deal. So first formal book is claimed. Awesome. Superman, Man of Steel, number 18, first appearance at Doomsday. Gonna go for we'll do this for $10. Batwoman number 1 from DC Universe Rebirth. That's gonna go for $3. Star Trek Generations. This is going to go for $3. Star Trek Generations. Mage, number 3, book 3 is going to go for $3. From Chaos Comics and Wizard World, we got The Undertaker comic. That's going to go for $3. I have Comics Interview, David Anthony Kraft's Comics Interview, number 73. For those of you who don't know, David Anthony Kraft was my co-writer, editor, and mentor. And he put out this really cool magazine called Comics Interview, which lasted 150 issues. And he interviewed all the big names in comics, which was really, really cool. That's going to go for $3. Katrina's calling Undertaker. Okay. Daredevil number 220 is going to go for $3. I have Green Lantern, Green Arrow number 1 by Neil Adams. It's a really cool Neil Adams cover. It was priced at $15. I'm going to do it for $5 right now. And then I have Battle of the Planets, Mark number 1. Cool Alex Ross cover. That's going to go for $3. We'll do it for $3. So that's a $3 FOMO here. And by the way, the first appearance at Doomsday, I'm actually going to lower the price of that to $5 if anybody wants it. I'll do it for $5. I'm not going to go crazy on that. But I just love this cover. This is such a stunning cover. It so sells it. Green Arrow, Phil. Phil. Hey, guys, if you're interested in any of the bottom row books, please let me know because there's some really good stuff down there. Superman. Leonard, I'll find out in a minute. Hold on. Well, Phil called it anyway, so it's actually going to Phil. But let me check and see if that is a first printing. Okay. And Katrina. See if that is a first printing. I believe this is a first printing because it says it was published in 1983. It's printed in Canada. I don't see this as a reprint. Or is it? Yes, it is a reprint. Sorry, it's just representing the award-winning comic series. Yes, this is a reprint. But Neil Adams did the covers for it. What a badass cover, though. That is really solid. I love that cover. Okay, let's start digging in through some of these boxes that I have here. We got about 6 FOMO books left here. Now, Comics Interview is a really great magazine. They did Comics the Magazine recently, which is kind of like a more updated version of it. You met Neil Adams? Yeah, so did I. Neil was great. I told you my Neil Adams story, right, Phil? I've told my Neil Adams story multiple times. But anyway, if you guys have read that Comics the Magazine book, Dak really went the extra mile with Comics Interview by running this for 150 issues. And he did some incredible interviews in here, and he did some incredible features. This is totally worth picking up here. He's interviewing William Mesner Loebs, a really prominent Flash writer. So, yeah, there we go. And it's just $3. I do not have another Undertaker comic. That was a one and done thing, unfortunately. I'll see if I can find one the next time I'm out there. Out in the wild. But do not fear, there's some really cool comics coming your way. Got a lot of good stuff here. So I'm just like looking at it right now. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't even know I had this. Splitter Image #1 is going to go for $2. Harley Quinn #67. This is a Year of the Villain tie-in. It looks like it's a lenticular cover or foil, one of the two. $2. Radioactive Spider-Gwen #8 is $2. Daredevil 258 is $2. Felicia Hardy Black Cat #10 is $2. Amazing Spider-Man #50 LR Last Remains. It's a Last Remains tie-in. It's going to go for $2. I have Gen 12 #1, #2, #3, #4, and #5 of Gen 12. Goes to Gen 13. Grab all 5 for 10. Onslaught Epilogue, The Path to Redemption. $2 on this. Conan the Barbarian #194 is $2. Fantastic Four 4 Yancey Street #1 is $2. This is a Fear State tie-in. Batman Secret Files Peacekeeper #1. This is going to go for $2. I have the Uncanny Inhumans #3. That's going to go for $2. Tarzan #242 is $2. Doom Patrol #4 is going to go for $2. Skrull Kill Crew #105 is $2. X Nation 2099 #1 is $2. Powerless #2 is $2. This is sort of like an alternate universe story, sort of like what they did with Superman Prime originally. They had a series called Secret Identity where a boy named Clark Kent lived in our reality and didn't have the powers, and then ends up suddenly with the powers. This is sort of like, what if people in a world with no superpowers, what would Wolverine do in a world where there are no superpowers? How would he become Wolverine? It's an interesting concept. Batman Universe by Brian Michael Bendis. Brian Michael Bendis had a very interesting take on Batman, and this is a 6-issue run here, and it's really a lot of fun. It takes Batman through different times and dimensions and everything. It's a lot of fun. But the thing that I think Bendis really did well with Batman was that he wrote Batman as someone who enjoys being Batman, like in a lighter way. He didn't do this like overly dark and brooding Batman. He gave us a pretty centralized Batman, I want to say. It was really good. I enjoyed It's in my personal collection, Batman universe. It's good stuff. It's a 6-issue run. Highly recommend it. Wolverine number 8. This is the 3 months to die. This is leading up to him dying. Number 10 and number 11. That's going to go for $6. The Goon number 10 is $2. I have The Exiled number 2 and number 4. This is the Wesley Snipes comic series. So Wesley Snipes made his own comics. This is going to go for $4. Walt Disney's Donald Duck number 250 is going to go for $2. Daredevil Ninja. This is a 3-part story here, and I have the first 2 parts of it. It's written by Brian Michael Bendis. It's really, really good. I like this series a lot. He's like he's trying to rescue Stick, who has been captured by the Hand. Okay, Exiled has been claimed by Leonard. I have Submariner Comics number 1. That's going to go for $2. Oh, yeah. Everybody wants to know what Roberto wants to know what everybody thinks of the new logo. Roberto, did you see the fanfare? Let me show you the fanfare. Check it out. So yeah. Everybody's been really excited about it. Roberto helped play a major role in helping me come up with this design. So I'm really, really grateful to him. All right, Submariner and the Disney are off to Lorena, and then I believe we already caught up with Leonard. Yeah, everybody's really digging it. I honestly haven't gotten any bad feedback about the logo yet. I'm really just that excited about it. Namor, the First Mutant number 1 is going to go for $2. Red Skull number 3 is going to go for $2. I have Grim Fairy Tales number 45, 51, and 55. That's going to go for $6. You guys want to know what that music's from? I can't use this fanfare like always. Like I just used it today just because I wanted to. But if you guys ever watched that Spider-Man series that came out on Disney XD or whatever, it wasn't Ultimate Spider-Man. It was like another Spider-Man series, and it was really, really good. So I really like the opening music for it. So that's what I ripped off there. But I'm not going to be using that music for the fanfare going forward. I'll come up with something else. I just wanted to show you guys the logo today, and I wanted it to be epic and fun and special for you guys, so I used that. But that's the opening of that Spider-Man TV show. That's why you hear those sound effects in the background. That was from that. I was just trying to time all the images to kind of coincide with that. But that is the fanfare. I might make some adjustments down the road, and there's also a modified version of the same logo too. So I'm going to be using that modified version on the printed books, and then the logos that you guys see are going to be at the at conventions and everything else. So it's exciting. And I kid you not, working on this logo and finalizing it and doing everything, this was literally a year-long project for me to really think about this. And I was so fixated on the O and K of my name, and that was where we were playing. We were playing with the letters for the longest time, and I think it dawned on me after I finished MegaCon that my logo should be me. And so I started playing around with some concepts, and I was kind of bouncing ideas off Roberto, and then Roberto helped me kind of refine it a bit more, and then I sent it over to my designer, Joe Saavedra, who does all the lettering and design for all our books, and he went in and refined what we came up with. and now he did it. And then I had another buddy, Sean McCardle, who put me in touch with Dexter Wee. He's a good friend of mine too, and he does a lot of logo design stuff too. So he gave me his variation of it, and so I was really torn because I like both versions, but the version that I stuck with, the one that you guys have seen right now, it's a lot cleaner, and I think it works well for conventions because I want people to be able to read my name clearly. So that's what you're going to see at cons. But the more like kind of tarted up version is the one that we're going to use for books, and anytime I have a new trailer coming out or something like that. So it's cool, and you'll see the other one soon too. Joey Galvez, how you doing, dude? You did do that. You did do that theme song in a day or two. Honestly, guys, if you haven't seen the introduction for Kickin' It, that song is all Phil. So Chill Phil Riley, he is the one who did the intro for Kickin' It, and it is awesome, and I love him. Joey, I actually have to ask you a huge favor. So I'm gonna reach out to you in like a week or two. But it's just we're getting closer to Phoenix Fan Fusion, and I kind of needed a small assist from you. It's not a small assist, but it is an assist. So I'll reach out to you and see if you can help me out here. But I would really appreciate it. And if you help me out with this, I will definitely owe you dinner one night. Phil is totally badass. I agree, Katrina. He is the baddest ass. No worries, Katrina. It's okay to be unfocused tonight. I'm pretty unfocused tonight, too. I'm always unfocused. When am I focused here? Never focused. That's awesome, Joey. Glad to hear it. I have Red Wolf number 1 and number 2, and this is going to go for $4. Bentley's been barking at so many dogs and people today. Like, the mail lady came by, and he went nuts on her. It was crazy. He was such an asshole. I have to show you guys something. So, like, last week, the kids were fighting with each other when they were here. And, here, I'll just show you guys this video.
Sick of boy. You get a little warm up there. Sick
He totally let me down there. Like, he was supposed to discipline the children and didn't do shit. Like, this dog doesn't do a damn thing, okay? Now, let's fast forward to Monday, okay? This was a day ago. Look at this fucker. You'll see him in a second. Look how, like, alert he is. He's just, like, all over this shit right now. Like, why couldn't he have been like this with the cat? Like, no. Or, sorry, not with the cat, with the kids. Sorry. I don't have a cat. For, like, a whole minute. And then I, like, let him know how disappointed I was in his behavior. I'm like, you were supposed to be like that with the kids. So he, like, just, like, lays down and goes back to bed. But, like, I just really needed him to, like, get some shit done. Bark at the kids. Like, geez, that's so much to ask. Yes, Joey, it is that thing. I just wanted to follow up with you one more time and just make sure we're cool with that and all that. And I'll give you all the details and everything. So basically what it is, guys, I'm going to Phoenix Fan Fusion in June, but I'm flying out the morning of the convention. And unfortunately, I don't have time to get my stuff to the convention center because the night before, when I should be flying out on Thursday. I always try and come a day before. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do that for Phoenix because that's the night of Max's middle school graduation. So I asked Joey, who's local, if he could pick up my inventory from the freight facility and bring it to the convention center. So Joey's awesome. And for those of you guys who are comic creators, if you're looking for someone to design or help manage your Kickstarters, he's a great guy to talk to. Great guy to know. All right, so let's continue building this board here. I have Strike Force Moratori number 1, $2. Scalped number 49 is $2. Shadow War Omega. This was a really actually a great run here. This is going to go for $2. The Humans number 8 and number 9. This book is so rad. It's so good. It's basically about a biker gang, but the biker gang, they're all monkeys, and they call themselves the Humans. That's the name of their gang. It's a really great series. If you're into like biker gang stuff, this is awesome. And this kind of came out around the time of Sons of Anarchy hitting its big boom. It's so good, so freaking good. You have to read the Humans. I think it's like 10 issues total. It's really good. And Lorena, I got you on Shadow War. So Shadow War starts with the assassination of Ra's al Ghul, and it's kind of like, honestly, it almost kind of feels like this conflict that we're currently in. Like, you know, someone does a major offense, and then everybody's waiting for the retaliation, and then the retaliation happens, and like, you know, Batman's kind of like in the middle trying to stop everything. It's a really good series. It's a really good run. Okay, the Humans is off to Phil. Phil, you're really going to like this. I have The Closet by James Tynion, issue 3. That's going to go for $2. And Green Lantern Future State number 2. That's going to go for $2. Yep. That's awesome. How's everything going, Joey? What you got any campaigns that you want to drop links for right now? Feel free to do so, man. I want to show you guys the remaining FOMO books. I have Mage 3 going for $3. Daredevil, the Man Without Fear, number 220. Iconic cover there, $3. Battle of the Planets, Mark, number 1, that's $3. Star Trek Generations, the official comics adaptation of the Paramount picture, $3 on this. Batwoman number 1, $3 on this. And Beauty and the Beast and Comics Interview number 73 going for $3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all these FOMO books, the total on them is $18. If you want to take them all off my hands right now, I'll do it all for $15. That's all the remaining FOMO books. Just so I don't gotta like put anything else up there. Ugh. LaBelle and Labette. BRPD, Hell on Earth, number 129 is $2. Oh, that's cool. Might actually check that out. The Sticks and Stones. That's cool. Dark Days, The Forge, number 1 is going to go for $2. The Spider King, number 1 is $2. Lady Zorro, number 1 is $2. Thank you, Katrina. You're right. He does. Uno momento. Okay, 5 FOMO books left. $15 for all of them. Wow, that's wonderful. To fund that quickly. And guys, speaking of funding and everything, if you haven't liked the or you haven't hit the notification on the Eastern Chin campaign, please do so. We're launching next Tuesday, and I don't want you guys to miss out on it. This will all you got to do is just click on that link and hit that notification button, and it'll let you know when we go live. I see. La is beauty. Or sorry, La is the, and Bet is beauty, and then whatever is beast. Bet is beast. Did you guys know that Ron Perlman was the beast? Of course, you guys know. You guys know everything. I'm the one who knows nothing. Green Hornet number 6. That's gonna go for $2. $2 on this. All right. So have a good look at everything here because it's all about to come down right now, and I'm gonna build out another double rack for you guys, and we're gonna close out the show here. So see anything you like here, you can claim it now. You can also message me after hours, and if I still have it, I'll pull it for you. That's no problem. I have people doing that all the time. Let me know. And also, when it comes to selling new comics, like stuff that comes out on Wednesdays and things like that, I had mentioned earlier that I'm thinking about opening up a PRH account. I'm not going to open up a storefront, like a physical store, but I can open up a PRH account and order comics. And if I'm ordering comics and I know that 5 other people want a particular title, I can order it for you guys and save you some money on it. Because obviously the more I order, the more of a discount I get. So if I go and order books through PRH, I'm going to get them at, if I don't order a certain amount of books, I'm going to get them at a certain cost. I'm going to pretty much pay retail. My discount's a lot lower. But if I get a whole bunch of them, I can, save you some money. So if you're interested, let me know. And I haven't opened up my account yet. This is all just what I'm thinking about doing right now. And I would love to do it with you guys because that would be a lot of fun to be able to get access to new comics without having to go to comic shops. That doesn't mean I won't be shopping at comic stores. I will still be going to comic shops to get back issues for these shows and see what I can get. So, and of course, if there's something I forgot to order, I might be able to get it through another comic shop. So just something for you guys to think about. Leonard, what's your total at so far? You're 13, 16, 26. 30. You're at $33 so far, sir. $33. Yeah, no problem, Lorena. Let me know. I have Justice League The Nail, number 3 of 3. That's going to go for $2. The Foot Soldiers, number 1, is going to go for $2. Curse of the Spawn, number 13, is $2. $224. That's funny, Katrina. Katrina's doing some fast math in her head. Born Again, this is a romance comic, and by a romance comic, it's actually a Christian comic, so it's not romantic at all. Just like that, what would he do comic that I was showing the other day. Born Again. This isn't Daredevil either. It's going to go for $2. Here we go. All right, Foot Soldiers, $2 on that. That's a cool series by Phil Esther and Jim Kruger. Jim Kruger is such a sweetheart. Very nice guy. But the nicest person I've ever met in my life. Most people I meet in comics are nice. I've never really met assholes in comics. Never mind, I have met assholes in comics. And his shoes, yeah. But Born Again is a lot more romantic. It's a lot. It's got like, this guy here who looks like the guy from that documentary, the Nickelodeon documentary. He looks just like that guy. Quiet on set. Born Again on set. Uncanny X-Men 235, 236, 237. That's going to go for $6. Yeah, Nixon's in there. $6. That's awesome. Leonard, how's your writing going? I know you had mentioned you were working on a few things. Spec Spidey 213. This is going to go for $2. Batman 660 and 661. $4 on these two. King Spawn, number 34 and 36. Sorry, is this 36? Yeah, it's 36. And number 39. That's going to go for $6. That's right. You had submitted some work to another publisher. That's cool. DC versus Vampires All Out War number 6. That's going to go for $2. From Happy Tank, I have MFKZ number 2. I think that stands for Mother Fuckers. I think. Do you think that stands for motherfuckers, or is it something else? Does King Spawn have the boot? That's a good question. Does he have the boot? Oi! Yes, he does, I think. Yeah, he's got the boot. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, man, look at that. You have to buy this now. Look at that. He's booting someone right there. Oi! Right there. It's almost like they knew that I like wanted this, and so they had him booting someone. They like saw the show and they saw him booting. How perfect is that, Phil? Come on, dude. Oi! Fact! Fuck you, asshole! King Spawn, he's claiming it. He's like, screw it. He's got the boot. It's all up to Phil. Oi! We're gonna have to play our little theme song here. You guys remember the bootin' theme song? Hold on a sec.
All right, kiddies, let's get ready to sing our new anthem. A boat and there shall be, a boat and there shall be. Boy comics to cast your vote, a boat and there shall be. Spend $10 dues, spend $10 dues, spend $10 dues, and a boot and there shall be.
Oh, when you're reading those comics, you're gonna have to listen to that music. Oh, it's so great. I love that. All right. X23 number 2 is gonna go for $2. Was that MASH? No, that was me. I made the song. That was me. Or Spawn. So X23 number 2 is gonna go for $2. And I got you on the DC Vampires, Lorena. Bentley, come downstairs, buddy. Come here, buddy. Bentley. Dog. I know you want to come downstairs. Bentley. Come here. Now. Bentley. Come here, puppy. Bentley. I think he's coming. He's coming, guys. Yes, the man is coming. You guys get to say hi to Bentley in a minute. Come here, buddy. This is my good boy. Come here, my boy. Yeah, this is my good boy. This is my good boy. You tired of barking at everybody today? He saw a pit bull earlier when we went for a walk today. He started barking at him. I had to pull him away from the pit bull. How you doing, buddy? How's my puppy doing? How's my little puppy doing? You want to show everybody your big butt again and be like, hey, how come you guys haven't followed the Eastern Shin Kickstarter campaign yet? How come you guys haven't done it? Why don't you show everybody your big bulbous ass, buddy? Come on, turn around. Show us all your ass. There you go. That's right. Show us all your butthole. Okay? You can sit right there. Show everybody your butthole. That's a good dog. Mothers? Oh, motherfuckers. Okay, all right. I got it. All right, he's going to fall off this table. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You are the best doggy ever. Such a good puppy. Oh, God, you got so much slobber all over me. So gross. And you smell like crap, too. That's right. You smell like crap. Lorena, I think, called mothers. MFKZ. Okay, Lorena got it. Yeah, you can lay here, buddy. I'm almost done. We're going to hang out afterwards, aren't we? So I just finished playing Resident Evil 2, the 2 remake. I was playing it at the same time I'm playing Requiem because Requiem is a really short game. So I'm actually kind of already at the end of Requiem. Requiem is so good. I'm loving it. I only wish it was longer. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. Uncanny X-Men 182 is $2, so we'll add it to that Uncanny X-Men bundle. Was there 2? 3. Now there's 4 books, going for 8. Deadpool 35 and 36. $4 on those. Real Ghostbusters 21 is $2. Old Man Logan number 26 and 27. That's going to go for $4. Deadpool versus the Punisher number 1, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So you're just missing issue 2. But you got these other 4 issues, and it's going to go for $8. Are you guys looking forward to that new Punisher one-shot series that's coming out? That looks really cool. Witchblade 14, 15, 21, and 23. That's going to go for $8. $8 on these. Rogue number 4 is going to go for $2. Hawkman number 21 is $2. Wolverine number 125 is $2. 126, 127. You can get all 3 for $6. All 3 for $6. For all you J. Scott Campbell fans, I have Wild Ciders number 0 going for $2. Star Trek number 12, 16, and 18, and 22 going for $8. You have any Star Trek fans? Wolverines. Leonard. Infinite Crisis, Countdown to Infinite Crisis 1. This is such an awesome book. It's basically like Sunset Boulevard if it was a DC comic. It's really, really good. It's a murder mystery book. It's going to go for $2. And the murder doesn't happen until the very last page of the book. That's what makes it so awesome. Doctor Strange number 20 is $2. I have Wolverine number 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then we're jumping ahead to number 50, and that is going to go for $18. $18. I'll actually not $18. What am I thinking? $12 on all these. $12 on the Wolverine. Okay. Countdown Infinite Crisis out to Arena. So next Tuesday, when I come back on the air, I'm gonna be on at the same time at 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. We are not doing a live claim sale. We're going to be doing a creator hangout next Tuesday. We're going to be bringing in a bunch of creators, and this is going to be kind of ushering in the launch of the Kickstarter campaign for Yisun Shin. So I'm bringing on a bunch of creators, and we're all going to hang out. We're going to talk shop. They're going to share their campaigns with you guys. We're going to have a really good time. It's just going to be a creator hangout. I'm not going to do a live sale on the same day I hit the launch button on the campaign. So we'll do live sales probably next Thursday. And I don't know exactly what time I'm going to be on the air, but it seems like this time works for you guys. I will have the kids next week, so we'll probably go from like 9 to 11. Just because I have to, make sure that they go to bed and everything. So we'll go in the evening. So next week we're going to do same time for Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. You don't have to remember any of this right now because I'm going to send a newsletter. And if you guys are on the newsletter, which I think most of you are, you'll have all that information. Plus, you'll see that I build out the rooms on social media, and most of you guys are already following me on Facebook anyway, or are part of this the Facebook group that I have created, the Facebook chat group. And if you want to be added to it and aren't in there now, just let me know and I'll add you. I have no problems with that. I'll start working on engaging with you guys more on that too. Again, it's hard for me to be everywhere at once. That's my biggest problem. If I could clone myself, that would be great. Awesome. Okay. More Wolverines they claimed. Sweet. That's a cool Wolverine run, by the way. John Romita Jr. on the artwork and Mark Miller on writing. Rom Space Knight 52 is $2. Silver Surfer number 8 is $2. The Thing and Human Torch number 4 is $2. Justice Society of America number 31 by Roy Thomas. This is going to go for $2. Doctor Strange 61 is $2. Deadpool versus Old Man Logan number 1 is $2. Judge Dredd, The Early Cases number 2 is $2. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm really excited, but at the same time very nervous about this Yisun Shin campaign because I'm setting kind of a higher goal than I've been doing for my last campaigns. It's not that much higher, but I know most of you guys who are in here right now, it's not going to matter if you hit that notification button or not. If you're watching my show on a regular basis, you're going to know about it. But I've got a lot riding on this campaign right now because my print costs have been so high recently just because of how many books had to go back to print. So Hunter and Destroyer 2 is not the only, Hunter and Destroyer 3 is not the only book that's being printed right now. I'm also reprinting Warrior and Defender #4 because I'm completely sold out of it. I don't have any books left. And then on top of that, I'm running dangerously low on Warline #1. So we're printing up 3 books right now. And what I'm doing is I'm working on phasing out my single issues sets for Isum Shin and Warline. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop distributing Warline or Isum Shin. We're just going to be compartmentalizing in the future for when I do conventions. So I'm going to be going from doing just comics to more graphic novels and stuff like that, like soft cover trades and things like that. And the only single issues I'll be putting out there are for new series that I work on. So since we're finishing Isum Shin right now, we're going to put out that final issue as a single issue, but it's going to have a really small print run. And Hunter and Destroyer 3 actually has one of the smallest print runs that we've ever done. I used to print up 5,000 copies of every single issue. With Hunter and Destroyer 3, we're only doing 2,000 copies of it. So, and once it's done, it's done. I'm not reprinting that book. So this is a pretty exciting campaign. It's also Dexter Wee's first issue on Isum Shin, and it's also the first appearance of Chuk Sin. And for those of you guys who have had a chance to read the exclusive, I hope you enjoyed it. We put a lot of heart and soul into that Isum Shin book, and we're working really hard on the final issue right now. And I'm really looking forward to this campaign being done with, because then I can really focus on getting the actual story done. So what's really nice is like June and July are kind of light months for me in terms of traveling to cons and doing things like that. So I'll be here. And what's also nice about that is the Hunter and Destroyer 3 books, they're already being printed. They'll be here on the second week of May. So 3 days after the campaign ends, those books, they're going to be right at my doorstep. I'm going to go through the conventions that I have coming up in May. And then in June, I'm handling fulfillment. So if you guys are a part of this campaign, you're going to see really rapid fulfillment on this. And unless we add some kind of crazy stretch goal, which I haven't really thought of yet, the biggest and most significant stretch goal that you guys are going to get is extra content, because we have some story pages that are going to be that have already been illustrated and colored and lettered and everything, and it was written by Chuck Pino, the editor of the series. He wrote this 3-page story that will give you guys some backstory to Chuk Sin, and like it kind of explains why she's coming now and so late in the series. And I really love this character, and I can't wait for you guys to see how we develop her in the future. It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah. $3 on the Wolverine on the bottom shelf, Leonard. Let me know if you want to add it. $3 for Wolverine #50. It's my last copy of the die cut claw cover. You're my Wolverine guy tonight. You're taking all my. You're robbing me out of Wolverine and home here. Okay, we're going to build out that last rack here. And then we're closing out the show for tonight. I'm going to stay on a little bit later because I came on a little bit later. We got Cyclops #1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a 12-issue run by Greg Rucka. Rucka. This is going to go for $10. Justice Society is off to Marina. Those first 5 issues are $10. I'm reading the current Cyclops, and it's actually really good. I like it. Nam #10 is $2. I know nobody likes Cyclops, but I do. I love Cyclops because he's an asshole. He has no choice. Vampirella, Dead Flowers #2 and 3. It's going to go for $4. And Wolverine. Wolverine kind of like had a little thing with him. I really hate how they did that little try thing with Wolverine Cyclops. That was ugh. Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children, Volume 14 is $2. And number 23 is $2. And number 27 is $2. $6. Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing and the Scarecrow, number 18 is $2. The Detonate number 2 is $2. Batwoman 18 is $2. War of the Worlds number 24 is $2. Superior Avengers number 3 is $2. Carnage number 2, 3, another 3 here. Number 4, number 5. We got some variants here. Number 8 and number 9. These are all going to go for $2, $4, $6, $7, $14 on all these. I mean, she tolerates him, but she also lets him do this to her. Thor number 25, $2. Korg 70,000 BC number 6 is $2. Miss Marvel and the Infinity Watch. This is a Miss Marvel annual, going for $2. Rogue number 3 is $2. Eternals the Heretic number 1 is $2. The Cyclops was done by Doberman. Pretty good artwork, actually. I was actually considering keeping this for myself, but like I have so much stuff to read, I can't right now. I would love to read it though, because I am a Cyclops fan. I love how nuanced the character is. Cyclops has no choice but to be an asshole. I know a lot of people hate him, but he has no choice but to be an asshole. And the world has been an asshole to him, which is why he's an asshole to everybody else. Flash number 765 and 766. That's going to go for $4 on those. I totally get with Rogue, even though she'd totally, suck the energy out of me. This is a cool set here. Fantastic Four 2099, number 1, 2, 3, and 5. That's going to go for $8 right now. And you're getting the number 1, which is a really cool foil lenticular. Not a lenticular. What is it? Acetate cover. Acetate cover. Morgan, number 1 of 3 is $2. Salmon Twitch 23 is $2. Tales of Asgard number 1 is $2. You guys like that acetate cover? It's pretty clever in my opinion. Evil Ernie, the Movie Monsters, number 1 is $2. Phases of the Moon Knight, number 3 is $2. And number 10 is $2. So it's 4 for these two. Silverhawks, number 6 and 7 is 4. Spider-Man, number 32 is 2. Oh, man, he's got a lot of personality in this current run. I actually think the current ongoing X-Men, I'm really digging it. He's angry. Violator, number 3 of 6, 5 of 6, 6 of 6. Half your run here for only $6. And each book is $6. So that's like buy one, get 2 free. And finally, I have Wolverine, number 28 and 72 going for $4. And that is everything on the double rack. I'm going to go over the bottom row stuff one last time. Not before putting up these FOMO books here. And then that is the end of our show today. I want to thank you guys for showing up in full force. First time back in a while. So I'm glad you guys are following me. Thank you for shopping with me. We sold a lot of comics today. This is good. I'm always happy when I have a good show. I feel seen by you guys, so thank you very much. I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel touched in all the right places. Okay. First off, the FOMO books. Let's just lay those out on the bottom row again. Mage number 3 is $3. Daredevil 220 is $3. Battle of the Planets Mark number 1 is 3. Star Trek Generations is 3. Batwoman number 1 is 3. Okay. Lone Wolf and Cub 14 is $3. Lady Death by Stephen Hughes is $3. G.I. Joe 51 is 3. Batman 49 is 3. Spawn number 3 is 3. Batman 3 Jokers number 3. We got the comedian Joker variant, $3 on this. Star Trek The Final Frontier 5 is 3. Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger is 3. Penguin Triumphant is 3. Daredevil 126 is 3. Batman Spawn War Devil is going to go for 15. Absolute Superman number 1. First printing is 25. Evil Ernie number 5 is 3. And so those are all the remaining lower rack books we got there. I have The Last Avengers Story, book 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 going for 6. Robin 3000 by Byron Prius and P. Craig Russell. Both parts of that are going to go for 6. And then I have Satan's 6, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's going to go for 25 because we got the first appearance of Jason Voorhees in there. Okay, guys, this is it. Let's see. Who's got a spin on the wheel? 14, 16, 18, 20. All right. Lorena's got one, and Leonard's got one. 16, 18. And Phil has one. So I got 3 spins on the wheel tonight. Let's do this real quick.
It's time to spin the wheel of Skidball.
Okay, let's spin that wheel. Oops. Clockwise. Tales of the Gunslinger gets cleaned by Phil. Clockwise spin for Phil. Yeah, a $2 comic. I'm going to hook you up with, who'd you say you'd hook up with? Rogue and Storm. I'm going to hook you up with Rogue. Well, we got a Rogue comic coming your way. Lorena, you're next. Lorena gets a free Marvel book. Lorena is going to get, let's see, Miss Marvel and the Infinity Watch Annual is off to Lorena. And finally, Leonard. Leonard is going to get a $2 comic, and I'm going to hook him up with, let's see here. I'm going to hook you up with Spider-Man 32 because you've been buying a lot of Spider-Man. So go make some money on the Spider-Man. Guys, thank you so much for shopping with me. Sorry I was a little late today. Really happy to be here with you guys again. I'll be back next week. I got some big news I'm going to be announcing tomorrow. So just follow me on social media and you'll know. But it's all pertaining to what I'm doing here with you guys. So I'm going to be making a big change. And I look forward to sharing the news with you guys tomorrow. And before I leave, I'll show you guys that fanfare of the new logo one more time. And then that's it. Thank you for being here. I love that logo. Have a good night, everyone. Take care. Thank you, guys.